drop by, but I'm not inconvenienced. That's your wisdom. Try to develop some wisdom. So you cultivate a resilient spirit, letting go of numbing and powerlessness. TV doesn't make me resilient, doesn't make me feel resilient. That's my personal experience. Cultivating gratitude and joy. I mentioned my morning wake up, what I wake up with. Cultivating gratitude and joy, letting go of scarcity and fear of the dark. Kind of fear of the unknown, I'd say. We don't know a lot of stuff. Why is it a scary thing? Why is it a scary thing? Cultivating intuition and trusting faith. How do we build intuition? By developing your wisdom. By developing your wisdom. I don't mean intelligence. Experiential realization here. That's your wisdom. So if I cultivate that, okay, letting go of a need for certainty. What do you think about that? Right? Uncertainty is one of the main sufferings. You can't count on anything, I'm sorry. You cannot count on anything. Everything changes. And people get whacked by it. One of the things I notice most with a lot of Americans is they don't like change. They don't like it. It could be for the better. Nope. One of my friends at our retreat center had this old, clunky, broken down Subaru. It was a total tanker, that thing. Gone. Her husband bought her a brand new one. Brand new Subaru. It was beautiful. We were all like, ooh, right? She kept going to work in the old heap. She just said, well, I'm not ready. It's scary. She said, brand new car. Perfect. The other one clanking and banking and, oh my God. We do that all the time. Aren't we hanging on sometimes to things? Hanging on because I don't want it to change, but we're miserable. Unbelievable. Cultivating creativity, letting go of comparison. These are all the things we've been mentioning. Here's the self-compassion, cultivating play and rest and letting go of exhaustion as a status symbol. Oh boy, do we hold that one up. I'm exhausted. Oh wow, that's great. So great. And letting go of productivity as self-worth. Here's all the things I did today. Right? So who says that makes you great? Right? Cultivating calm and stillness, letting go of anxiety as a lifestyle. How many of you know drama kings and queens? It's got to be an emergency. Everything is a drama. Life's dramatic enough. I don't need to add to it. So I'd rather have the calm facing the drama. There's enough drama out there. Cultivating laughter, song, and dance, letting go of being cool and always being in control. Just a few things to... Questions? Comments? Any last questions? There's a lot more I could go on and say. I just think I'm going to close it here. It's a lot of information, I'm aware of that. I hope it's been useful for you and helpful, and I just want to really say, please, try for connection. Continue, just keep that word in your heart, along with compassion, along with wisdom, cultivating these other things, but connection, positive connection. Keep reaching across what you think is a divide. There's somebody on the other side, fearful, confused, just like you, angry, and you could potentially have a new friendship there that closes the chasm. So just keep trying to do that as you're keeping the heart open, keeping yourself happier, more peaceful. Question? Oh, I thought you had a question.
Okay. So you said that, oh yeah, sorry. God, I think I forgot the question.
Yeah, hold the microphone to your mouth.
I'm sorry, yes. So it's close, okay, here. So you said that when we are about to judge somebody, instead of judging that person, we should try to put ourselves in their shoes. Like in my my favorite subject, or who knows what it is, Trump. how okay, so I put myself in his position, for example, the way you did. But what happens when you know for a fact that you know somebody that close, where you know that that person is actually being evil, so to speak, on purpose? That you know that the person is actually doing this on purpose. What then?
So think
How
about
can
the
I be
choices. And the other thing is,
compassionate?
I gave you many techniques. So you have to, in developing your wisdom, is figure out appropriately what's going to fit with each area. Now, the methods to develop bodhicitta overall are great to slowly meditate on all the time to build that in your heart. But if you know somebody is committing things, it also depends on your level of how would I like to respond. I'd still like to respond to them with compassionate wisdom if I'm going to interact with them. Will I be able to stop them from doing something? You have to ask yourself, what's realistic? Can I stop them from doing something? And I evaluate. No, I can't actually stop them from doing this, but what I can do is this, this, and this. So what I want to do is I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it with a good motivation. And if I get a chance, I may try to cultivate a healthy relationship with this person and find out more about them and let them know a little bit more about me and how these activities are disturbing, harming me. It's about you and your mind. It's not about changing other people, because you can't.
But in my case, for example, how would I do? As I said before, with everything, all this compassion and all this trying to understand others has to come from the heart,
Right.
Because otherwise, I assume it's worthless.
But we have to start somewhere. So initially our hearts aren't really exercised that well. So these exercises are slowly where I consider, have I ever done that to somebody? Yeah, I kind of have. Or have I had the motivation to do that? Yeah, I have. That's my authenticity, Yeah, it wasn't good, but I didn't know any better. Maybe I did know better and I just felt spiteful. Some people, we've been there. We do those kind of things. So somehow I'm suddenly realizing, well, that's the other person's thing. I'm confused. Well, they seem really confused. Well, I've been confused too. So you slowly add on.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time. It's a process. This doesn't just happen like that. It's a process.
Thank you.
Yeah, is that helpful?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Thank you.
Can take eons, but on the tantric path, it can be very quick.
I apologize for following this political line of thought, but
And one thing I want to add about the political line of thought, think about it. Not everyone here may have voted for someone other than Trump.
Oh.
So when we are vocal and opinionated loudly about certain agendas, right, you may alienate somebody else and silence them because they're on the other side and they feel like, whoa.
One of my dearest friends I consider as Dharma friends is here, who didn't vote the same way I did, and I have utter love and respect and complete.
Yeah, and we're free to express, but I'm just saying,
Yes,
I
it's
know
not about the
something that
person.
happened in my family where part of the family, and it wasn't from us, felt silence because of all the anti-Trump supporters. So they suddenly were like, they didn't feel safe to say anything. And they felt like somebody was going to say, are you stupid? And they're not stupid. So it's interesting how we sometimes don't mean it, but other people then suddenly feel like, ooh, I don't want to speak up because all these people are into that. So it's interesting. So nothing about your remarks, but just in general.
Again, I know your references to Nixon, and I protested that war, and Reagan and Bush, and as much as I may have opposed them, I didn't see them as being mentally ill. I didn't see a person whom I couldn't empathize with to the point of, I see through your eyes why you did that. Going into Iraq, you thought that was best for this country. Whatever it was, I can do that. I can't do it this time because you seem to be normalizing something that I don't believe is normal. You seem to be taking somebody who has a severe case of delusion insofar as seeing crowds where there are none, seeing Muslims anti-American chants where there were none. Their objective reality has got to figure in somewhere into this new situation.
Okay, so I just ask you then, what is the solution? How would you like to be in the current present situation?
It's compassion. It starts with compassion.
Right.
And it's got to lead to something that has to do with wisdom. I'm very confused, and I reject all this anger. We're angry. I don't.
Right. That's
go
all
with
I've been
that at
saying
all.
is that's all I've been saying is to have an angry response to it, you yourself have to check, does that work for you?
It's manifesting.
Does
the
that
same
work for
thing.
you? There's some people that feel that works for them. That's not a Buddhist approach, number one. I don't agree with that, you know. So I'm not saying it's okay that what's going on. I'm not saying I don't have to condone it and saying I agree with it at all. But then you have to ask yourself realistically, what can I do about it that is beneficial and positive, that keeps my mind somewhat balanced? Because if I get toppled, I got so many emails from people right after the election in their depression and their fatigue and their anger and their hostility that I can't do my work if that's the space that my mind's in. I'm not going to teach if that's the space my mind's in. There's no point. So I went, well, maybe I think I have more work to do now. And I'm ready to do it. I got my seatbelt on. I a little bit have my harness on right now because I think I need a harness. And I'm out there, and I want to be positive out there, and I want to kind of shine out there because we've got serious work to do. But we've always had serious work to do. Because my mind sometimes is a garbage heap. That's my work. And right now, well, outside that's manifesting like that. Tomorrow can manifest differently. In 4 years it can manifest differently. And it's just been, so I'm still working along with my mind. Some days very bright, some days more confused. We just keep going. Trying to keep this as open as possible. Because every time for me, my experience, you check yourself, when it closes, I'm not very happy. And then I feel a little toppled and I can't really come out and teach and feel like I'm being a good example. So that's okay. I have days like that. And then I kind of go back in my practice and go, okay, tomorrow, new day, new step forward. So that's kind of the work we have to do.
Just a comment for
That's okay. Here we go.
Just a comment for you. When Mr. Trump won, I was devastated, as you were, and probably many other people, or I should say many people. So at first, I actually cried, and I'm not a crying person, but this time I really did. So I said, okay, well, you know what? Enough of this. I have to do something about it. So I felt that instead of this motivated me. This motivated me to become involved in politics and to finish faster my thesis for my environmental degree, graduate degree. So I consider it as a challenge instead of a drawback. And this has helped me enormously. But I'm still angry. And so I thought, well, you know what? I need to do something for myself, because I saw myself, my own balance for myself, not doing very well. And hence the reason why I'm here. Because I think that when you feel what I feel, which is great anger, yes, it is a great motivator. It's an engine that propels me to do incredible things. But am I coming from the right thing, the right source? Yes, it is compassion because I want to help.
So we're a little bit out of time, so yeah.
So anyway, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much what we've been talking about for the most part.
One little comment.
Yes.
When I am working on something in my personality, the things that you've mentioned, sometimes someone from the past or the present will pop into my mind as an example. And I can think of that person, and it helps me to behave closer to what I want.
Yes.
Yes.
Like a role model. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much. I hope it's been helpful. I really appreciate you coming so much. And thank you so much for all the people that supported me here that made this possible in Kadampa Center. And thank you also for supporting Kadampa Center. It is a fantastic center. I travel all over the world, and And this is really, they do some great stuff here, so I'm very grateful. And also thank you for, I'm so grateful for anybody helping to support me, because the Western nuns, it's very challenging for us. We don't have a place to live, and it's been really difficult. So that's really helpful, any support people can lend, and I appreciate. And if you want to join me on some of the retreats, check my website, and think about the pilgrimage in 2018, and hope to see you all again. Thank you so much.
If you can turn to... Yeah.
We just quickly turn to page 235, the Gold Prayer Book, to please dedicate any positive energy that we've created. I think just talking about compassion and trying to do these practices and things, it just really creates that pocket of peace. The ripples go out from this part of the planet. That's a way to change the world. We are part of the world. I'd like to take and invest any positive energy we've created to investing it in our moving along a path to counter delusions like anger and confusion and attachment, to move us to enlightenment more quickly, so that we can really be of the most benefit to others and show them the path, and to lead them out of their suffering to enlightenment as well. Let's read on page 235. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow. May that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, I too dedicate all these merits in the best way, that I may follow their perfect example. I'd like to dedicate to the long lives of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all the beings on the planet who've recently died, like Paul Lochner. Can we please pray for them to take a good rebirth, to be a benefit to all, to quickly get enlightened and benefit all? For those who have recently, who are ill, may they receive full and complete healing. And I pray for more enlightened leadership every day, regardless of who is leading various countries. So may that manifest as well, and may we do our practices and have the sustenance so that the external reality can become happier and more peaceful all the time for all beings. Thank you so much.
And if you can go to page 100 in your gold prayer book, we will thank Venerable Amy once again with a symbolic offering of the mandala and the body, speech, and mind. And then afterwards, if you'd like to personally offer her a kata, there are katas here. So we'll chant this together nice and slow in Tibetan. Saji Puki Jukshin